My public, soccer fans all over the world, football fans, but especially you in USA. Why? Because Bobby Cardenas, coming from Lancaster, California, in the Llano Valley, USA. For those of you that cannot pronounce Bobby Cardenas when you're trying to tell your friends about these posts, say Bobby C. So now I can also be Bobby C. Right? Bobby C. Okay, real quickly, because I have to get to a very important topic, which I've been thinking about. That's happened right now, recently, with FIFA today. But first, I'm going to go over the Euro scores. I have my glasses. Okay, real quick, I'm going to go through these. Cyprus 2, Bosnia Herzegovina 1. That was huge for Cyprus. Wales 2, Andorra 1. Huge for Wales. Gareth Bale scored both goals. Czech Republic 2 versus Netherlands 1. That was a brutal match. Czech Republic won. Italy 2, Norway 0 in Italy. Kazakhstan 0, Latvia 0. Bulgaria 2, Azerbaijan 1. Croatia 2, Malta 0. One of the biggest games and a big upset. Iceland 3, Turkey 0. Oofa. Huge. Okay. Games tomorrow. No Euro qualifiers, but MLS games. Montreal Impact in Montreal versus Galaxy, 7:30 p.m. Channel 691 if you have DirecTV, which is also the station TWCS. Okay, so check that. And New York Red, and that's at 4:30 p.m. our time, Pacific time. New York Red Bulls versus DC United, 5 p.m. our time, ESPN2. So you should have those. Okay, so on a real quick side note before I get to the big topic. Man United announced today that their revenue for last season, and taking into account that this season they're not in the Champions League, they're already out of the Capital One Cup. I don't even know if they're a part of the FA Cup right now, and they're in 14th place in the Barclays Premier table. Excuse me. But the revenue for last year was 676 million US. They sold 2 million replica jerseys. Whoever said football is not a big deal around the world, they don't know what they're talking about. And they're not even the biggest team in the world, which Real Madrid is. Okay, forget all this. Right? You. Pay attention. Big news. Today, Sepp Blatter, the president of FIFA, he thinks he's a dictator. And I tend to agree because Sepp Blatter has such a hold on FIFA. He's had it since 1998. And he's running for re-election again in 2016, even though he stated a couple years ago that he wouldn't. Because everybody thought that Platini from the UEFA, Michael Platini, a French former player, manager, all that, would become the new head. Well, he's not, because Sepp Blatter's running, and because of all his connections, he's going to win. But anyway, he decided that FIFA should consider an instant replay program for big matches, in so much as the managers should have the opportunity to challenge plays such as they do in the NFL, for instance, right? Throw a red flag, although I'm not sure whether he's considering that or not, but that particular thing or not. But in his mind, the manager should be able to challenge plays once or twice during a half. Who knows? They're still looking at it. Okay, I say this. And Gary Bailey from the Express Extra on beIN Sports, along with Ray Hudson, they were discussing this, as a matter of fact, a little while ago. And I happened to watch that. to get their viewpoint, to see if they agree, disagree with me, or what on my viewpoints. I'm going to tell you my viewpoints first, because I've talked about this to other friends of mine, soccer players in my league, whatnot. I think that plays that deal with a score or a possible score, in that a penalty has been awarded or a penalty has not been awarded, a diving has occurred or a diving has not occurred, handling has occurred or handling has not occurred in the area or just outside the area, of course, where it the score is the importance of the score having been made or not made is what's crucial to the match at that point. Oh, I'm getting so flustered right now. I think that, no, you don't put on the managers, because let's face it, managers, fans, players, they're always going to argue against a referee no matter what he does, unless it goes for their team, because that's the way they always view it. They always view things that, as far as referees do, that the calls of referees are either in their favor or not their favor, as opposed to what a referee actually is supposed to do, and that is officiate the match. He has no control over what's going on. He shouldn't have control. He shouldn't think he has control either, because he doesn't. He officiates a match, the player has the control. So therefore, he can't be biased towards one team or the other. He shouldn't be. So you can't think that way, that he's in your court or he's not. No. So I say that referees, they have two referees in a booth above that are watching the game live, one with certain camera views and another one with another. And if something occurs that they think they have to tell the center referee about to stop the game or to change a call, let's say a referee has called for a penalty, and in their mind a penalty has not occurred, they electronically, through his watch, just like in the World Cup, let him know, hey, something's going on, we have to look at it. 10 seconds, boom, they look at it, they make a decision. That's it. And Gary Bailey actually brought that up and agreed with me on that point at the beginning of the show. Ray Hudson brought up another point, though, that if it does fall on the onus of the manager to challenge a play, and he doesn't win that challenge, it goes against him because it stays, in other words, and he blew it, then you know what? You, as the manager, give 25,000 pounds, because everything's in pounds over there, or at least in England, Great Britain, you can also do it in euros, to a charity that that specific league, Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, whatever, supports. That I would agree with. If you're going to give the managers the opportunity to challenge, then friggin' go for it. I still think, though, that it should be referees. Referees officiate the matches. They decide on the points of law regarding legal or illegal play, and therefore it should stay in their hands. Do away with those two extra friggin' referees that you've applied in Champions League and some other leagues that stand on this side of the goal that's on the same side as the assistant referee, so he can't friggin' see the play because you're in your way. Who the hell thought of this with FIFA? If you're going to put extra referees in the goal line, put them on the other side of the friggin' goal so he's not in the way of this assistant referee. Maybe their thought was this, that they don't want the center referee having to look all these direct. Well, you know what? He shouldn't be. He should be looking at play. The only time he needs to look at his assistant referees is after a play to make contact with them to see whether they gel as far as the call. He doesn't have to be looking back and forth during play. No! He's looking at the play. So the referees that you had in those, get them out of there, put them in a booth, have them do the replay. That's it. I'm done. Let's go on. Porque sabes qué? I have vino to drink. I'm done spouting. I get so excited sometimes. Can't help myself. He gets me so riled up. You don't know what he does off camera. You have no idea the pressure that he puts on me. He's the unseen UPM. Line producer. Whatever. Okay. All right. So, we say no to racism. Truly. Always. And go USA. Salute.